know there's like a couple of ninth grade classes in here. So last year, we started with during Hispanic and Latinx History Month, we started a speaker series last year. And it was really, really nice because we got to bring people from Hispanic and Latinx descent into our schools. Because of how last year was, it was all virtual. But this year, we actually get to bring people back in the building again. Yay! So the first person that we are going to have for this year's kind of series is someone that I actually went to college with him, so that's number one, phenomenal. And when I read his little bio, you'll know it's cool. And someone who has been able to kind of, achieve some of his goals and really move on and upward in the school district of Philadelphia. I have the pleasure of presenting Mr. Ariel Lajara. He is an Assistant Superintendent of Network 10, right? Network 10, here in the school district. Before I read this, I just want to remind you guys, it is always difficult standing up in front of people, irregardless if you do it every day, if you do it every 6 months. So please make sure we just give our speaker the respect that he deserves. It could be super, super long, but I know that he is going to impart with us some wonderful lessons just moving through our lives. Mr. Lajara is currently serving as the Assistant Superintendent for Network 10 in the School District of Philadelphia. He's a proud product of the School District of Philadelphia. He went to J. Cook Elementary and High School. He received his bachelor's degree from the illustrious Lincoln University of Pennsylvania. And he received his master's degree from Cabrini College. He has been a teacher, a dean, a director of instruction, an assistant principal, and a principal. So he's kind of touched every space in education. So, guys, let Frankford welcome Mr. Lajara in the best way we know.
All right. Good afternoon. I need some energy back, guys. Good afternoon. Okay. I got you too. Don't even worry about it. So, guys, first and foremost, man, I'm super excited to be here with you guys. I've been in Philadelphia now for 26 years. I've been living in North Philadelphia for 26 years. This is my community. I've been educating for 18 years in North Philly. I am now in South Philadelphia and Southwest as an assistant superintendent. However, my heart and soul belongs to this part of the city. I really love welcoming spaces where students look like me, sound like me, and we share similar experiences. I'm very excited to be here today for Hispanic Heritage Month. My family comes from the Dominican Republic. I am a first-generation American. However, what I really want to talk to you guys today is about connecting with different cultures, connecting with different people. We have more alike than we have in difference. We have so many things in common. And being in this high school space, I was waiting for you to turn around and thank you so much. Being in this high school space, man, could be the best 4 years of your life, and it also could be extremely challenging. These are years where are formidable for your life. These are years where you're going to build some bonds. I have 4 best friends. All 4 of them I met at Albany High School, my high school experience. Those are friendships that I cherish. So if you look to the left and if you look to the right, this might be some of the people you still will be in contact with for the rest of your life. So definitely take advantage of this time. Something else I want to share is some memorable experiences for me that really allowed me to connect with who I am and transpire to this day. So growing up every summer, my mom saved every coin so we can go to the Dominican Republic and I could get an experience with my roots, with my culture, with my ethnic background, with my race. And those experiences, to this day, allow me to be the person that I am. Those experiences were growing up in a village with very little electricity. very little resources, having to go outside, and if you wanted to eat, you had to catch the livestock. If you wanted to drink, you had to allow the rain to come from the sky and fill up pots so we can wash up and we can drink that water. If you wanted fruits, you had to go up on the tree, grab the fruits. If you wanted to harvest, we had to go out there and crop. Those experiences really showed me and humbled me in a way where I don't think that I would have that in my life. So those experiences to me are everlasting. I was able to connect with family members that really showed me the true significance of being of Hispanic heritage, specifically from the Dominican Republic. Those experiences I miss to this day. I really do. I try my best to visit my country at least once a year to reconnect with that Hispanic heritage, to reconnect with people that will lift my spirit. So what I want to do now is take a brief pause, and I would love for us to have some level of conversation and dialogue within our own small groups here. And I heard a lot of enthusiasm coming from people in this group earlier. Yeah. So guys, if you can just connect and just share one thing with somebody in your group around what makes you you. It doesn't matter where you come from, what ethnic background, what makes you you. What are some things that you look forward to doing with your family, some experiences that you share that really represent who you are. So I want to take about a minute or two. I'll be walking around to facilitate that conversation. So turn to your neighbor, like you're at church, touch your neighbor and say, neighbor. There you go. And let's rock and roll and have some small conversation. I'm coming around to help facilitate. Oh, what do you got? Okay, all right.
You got Dominican in you too?
Likewise. ¿De qué hablamos aquí?
Hablamos que no nos define,
¿Cuál es su cultura? ¿Cuáles son cosas de su cultura que te ha ayudado a ti en tu vida, que tú reconoces que es de tu cultura, que tú celebras, cuáles son las cosas, las pasiones que te gustan de tu cultura, cosas así. All right, guys, we're gonna bring it back. Everybody this time can turn around and face me. I would really appreciate that. I want to thank you guys for allowing me to join your table and listen to some of the conversations you guys were having. I got to meet people from Honduras, Mexico. I'll wait. Thank you guys, I appreciate it. So, Honduras, Mexico, Costa Rica, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, Camden, Camden, North Philly, things of that nature, man. And as you guys continue to have those conversations, what's really important is about what resonates here and what resonates here. What are the things, what are your family upbringings, what are your family's cultural values that resonate with you every day? At this stage of your life, you're still in that form of finding out who you are, what you want to do, what are you connected to, what inspires you. I got my man over here giving me the chorus. Give me another one. There you go. So these moments in your life are super important. Some people that are very important to me. My mother immigrated from the Dominican Republic at a young age. Did not speak the English language. Was not able to really advocate for me while I was in school. That was extremely challenging. Extremely challenging. So we had to figure out systems and ways to survive, not only here in Philly, but also in New York City, where I was born in Harlem. I was born in Harlem. Then we came here to Philadelphia and experienced some challenges just getting acclimated with different ritualistic cultures and vibes and community origins here in North Philly. So my mother really supported me in allowing me to be who I am, giving me creative space to figure out who I wanted to be, allowing me to fail. But the most important thing was allowing me to fail forward. There is no such thing as failure as long as you learn something from it. There's not. There's no such thing as a mistake. If you make a mistake once, that's what it is. The moment you get to that mistake again, you're making a choice. It's not a mistake anymore. You're making a choice. So continue to fail forward, continue to learn from your mistakes, and continue to really embrace who you are, where you come from, and what you're destined to be. You guys are 100% destined for greatness. And it's up to us, your educators in this school, your family members, your community members, to really tap into that potential that you guys have and really support you guys in becoming who you want to be. So I wanted to touch on that. Some of the lessons that I've learned in my life, and something that I live by, is paying it forward. Raise your hand if you have an idea of what that means. Paying it forward. Pay it forward. Okay. Thank you. So I'm going to speak on that a little bit. So when it comes to paying it forward, is anything that has happened to me, for me, around me, is something that I want to continue to pass along to the people that I come in contact with. So in my career, in my educational journey, I've had a lot of people, simply put, save my life. I had a high school teacher save my life. I've had run-ins with difficult circumstances, with challenges from the community that put me in situations where I made some very poor choices. And I had to learn from that, and some of them I had to learn from that the hard way. But if it wasn't for some of the people that I came in contact with that went out of their way, and some of them did not look like me, did not sound like me, but still were able to see something in me that I didn't even see in myself. And they were able to really push me and propel me to the potential that I could reach. So people like my high school teacher, people like my cousin that has been a role model for me, somebody that has escaped a lot of negativity in their life. Sometimes somebody doesn't even have to talk to you. They just have to show you that they can make it for you to understand that you can make it. I grew up in Logan Valley, right off of 13th and Rockland, where Jay Cook is at, where sometimes it can seem difficult and nearly impossible to come out of that neighborhood and be successful? Somebody cut the mic on me. My voice is deep. We're gonna rock and roll. So, coming out of that environment really challenged me in a lot of ways, but it prepared me for everything that I was gonna face in life. Every difficult circumstance, every challenge, every idea of somebody thinking that you can't do this or you can't do that. Never allow somebody to label you. Never allow somebody to put you in a box. Who we are is more than enough than what we need to be successful in life. It really doesn't matter. Who you are is more than enough. It's all about, do you believe in yourself to get to whatever you want to get to in life? Whether it's fashion designer, whether it's shooting hoops and making it to the NBA, whether it's becoming a teacher, whatever you want to do in life, you have more than the potential to reach that. And you guys have so many people around you from different races, from different backgrounds, from different walks of life that can share diverse experiences. They can share their experience. You can compare that to your experience and see if you can connect that. So you have all the resources around you to be uber successful. I've had the pleasure to go to college with Ms. Blackmon, to work with Principal Calderon, to work with Assistant Principal Moore. Everybody here comes from a different walk of life, but they can share an experience with you. Check. They can share an experience with you that can be everlasting if you allow yourself for that experience to come your way. I shook everybody's hand here before I started talking. I joined some tables while you guys were doing small table talks. Some were more welcoming spaces. Some were not as welcoming. But that's okay. Look, my sister over here looked back like, yeah, it wasn't too welcome over here. But listen, it doesn't matter. You have to take the risk. You have to take the risk in the classroom and outside of the classroom to get to know people. Specifically people that might not look like you, sound like you, have a diverse background, a different race. You never know what you can learn from someone else. So challenge yourself to really put yourself in different spaces, not just today, but for the rest of your life, because you don't know what benefit is going to come out of that. Okay? All right, another lesson for me, outside of paying it forward, and paying it forward is why I'm here today, is every space you go into, every setting, every classroom, every community, every building, make sure that when you go into that space, you leave it a better place than what it was. Leave it a better place. My overarching goal today is for somebody to take just one thing that I say, and hopefully that touches you and propels you to do something with it. So every space you go into, no matter where it's at, it is your responsibility to leave it a better place. Never go into a place and just take from it. Life is about deposits and withdrawals, assets and liabilities. All right? You can be an asset to somebody's life, or you can be a liability. You can be an asset to a space, or you can be a liability. When you go into a space, be an asset. Add to the cultural value. Add to the professional values of that space. And make sure that what you're contributing is going to make it a better space, not just for you, not just for the people around you, but also for the people that are coming after you. We are 100% responsible for our future and for everybody else's. With that said, I'll go into social capital. And that's having the language, having the persona, having the appearance to go into spaces and be treated not only as an equal, but as a contributing citizen. So, coming to school, that's one thing. Come as you are. There's going to be different settings in life, like work, like your job, like an interview, that you have to come correct. You have to show up and show out and be able not only to fit the part, but leave that space in a way where people say, hey man, we need that person. That person is going to add cultural and professional value to our workspace, work environment, or school environment. So that will really support you. So guys, what I want to do now is open up the floor to some questions. Quiero abrir la plataforma para que me pregunten cualquier cosa. So I would love for take a minute or two and do kind of small group table talk again and think about what questions do you want to ask, and then we're going to switch the platform on to you guys. You guys can ask me questions. So I would love that, guys. I really would. I would love to get to know you guys a little bit better, and through that Q&A, through that question and answering, I think we can achieve that. So take a minute or two, come up with some questions for the people that are predominantly speaking Spanish, around and support you through that process, and I look forward to hearing your questions.
What question you have?
All right, guys, I'm going to give out one more minute, and then we're going to start the Q&A.
You need to be back.
All right, guys, we're going to start the Q&A. I can ask everybody to face forward, and I'll start identifying some students that have some questions, and we'll go from there. Okay?
Can I start off?
Yeah. Guys, let's focus on Assistant Principal Moore, and then we're going to start the Q&A.
So what we were talking about back here is when you finished, you said, well, why didn't you just talk in Spanish the whole time? And we're like, because everyone doesn't always speak in Spanish. And I just wanted to bring up code switching. Does anyone know the word code switching? Have you done that in any of your classes? Miss Thomas knows. Royce, what's code switching?
Basically, switch between how you talk. So, if I'm talking to you how I would talk like a hood rat, and then I go in my house, and then I'm all polite when I'm in front of my parents, I'm switching between how I'm talking to you.
So I want to talk about that. So, guys, once again, turn around if you can. But now I'm going to go into what I'm super passionate about. Okay. So, code switching is a term that we can use, right? I have another term that you can use that I prefer to use. So, I like to adjust to my sentence, right? When we say code switch, depending who hears that, you can take it as we have to switch to someone else's code. In this Hispanic Heritage Month, I want to push everybody's thinking around, there's no one specific code to switch to. But depending what setting I'm in, whether I'm at church, whether I'm in a school, whether I'm at work, like the young man said, whether I'm in front of my mother, we begin not only to change our dialect, but we change everything about it. We don't change because we're changing to someone else. We're literally just adjusting to the setting that we're at right now. Because we want to ensure that not only are we respecting that setting, but we are coming into that setting and we're trying to create a better space in that setting. So thank you, Assistant Principal Moore, for bringing up code switching. Code switching is a term that is used, or you can use adjust to your setting. Can you ask that question though? You had a good question.
High school, how was
What were my goals in high school? Okay, so guys, when I was in high school, and I'm going to use the term that was here, that was said at this table, and they said, I went to Albany, and somebody said that was a bad joint. Right? I want to make sure I define that term. So I did go to Albany High School, and it was an extremely challenging high school. My 4 years there in the 90s was extremely difficult. It was a school that was just not performing at the level that it needed to be. Some years after I graduated, that high school went into a charter due to the fact that the school district felt that it just was not performing at the level it needed to be. Ironically, talking to this young student right here, Albany High School. Albany just came back to the school district of Philadelphia, but for about 11 years, it was part of a charter school. When I was there, did I think that I was going to be who I am today? Absolutely not. I had a lot of teachers and staff tell me that I wasn't going to amount to anything. I was segregated and secluded from all activities that anyone would think that are fun. I was placed in classrooms that did not challenge my intellect. It was no. To answer your question, no. I didn't think I was going to be successful at all. Unfortunately, I thought the total opposite. By 13, I was locked up 2 times. By 17, I was facing a federal charge. By 18, I was put out of my first college. So to answer your question, no. And I think it's so important for people to share their story and for people to connect with people, because sometimes you see this guy and you see these accolades and you think, man, this dude's been well off his whole life. It's the total opposite. If we had some heart-to-heart conversations and had one-on-one, you get to know who I really am, and you would realize how real I am. But once again, we're code switching, we're adjusting to settings. And when we do that, we come into a space sharing a different light of who we are. So thank you for asking that question. Young man in I believe, yellow hoodie, did you have a question?
Oh, that was the question that I asked.
That was your question?
Yes.
Question over here. Yeah.
What advice would you give to seniors and juniors transitioning out of high school?
I love that question. So I will tell you why I came into education. So at my 6th through 12th grade experience was extremely challenging. I had teachers, like I said, that really came to school and didn't believe in students that looked like me, that looked like you in this classroom because of what we look like, what we sound like, where we come. That's called low expectations. Because of that, the best advice I can give you is find out what you're passionate about. I don't care what it is. If you want to design sneakers, if you want to do art, whatever you're super passionate about, there is a way to create a high amount of income to do that. So find out what you're passionate about now. The earlier you find out what you're passionate about, the sooner you start being connected to your why. Mark Twain, to me, has my favorite quote. The 2 most important days of your life are the day you are born and the day you find out why. The 2 most important days of your life, the day you were born and the day you find out why. Once you find out why you were born and what you're connected to and what you're passionate about, you use that passion, use that why to drive everything else you do. I'm super passionate about education. Super passionate about it. I have 18 years in this field. My goal in life is to help everybody I come in contact with, specifically the students that come from my neighborhood. I love it. I never feel like I'm at work. I was asked to come here today. It's not a task to me. I don't care what I had to do to switch up in my schedule to be here with you guys today. But that's what I'm passionate about. That's what I connect to. So find out what you're passionate about. Allow it to manifest in your real world life. If you need to go to college for it, go to college and get that degree. If you don't, start getting connected to your field right away. Every field, every passion, every job does not require a college degree. But everything does require hard work and dedication. Extreme hard work and extreme hard dedication. And remember that what you're doing is not for you. It's for the people that you want to serve. I choose to serve the students and the teachers and the staff of the School District of Philadelphia. That's my choice. But it's connected to my why. If it's not connected to my why, I don't touch it. I don't do anything that's not connected to my why. Yes?
You know, for people that's just finding or like starting to figure out, when is it too late to find out?
Never too late. Thank you for that question, man. That was a thoughtful question. It's never too late to find out what you're passionate about. Now, some people work a dead-end job for 20 years and then realize, man, this is not fulfilling for me. This is not meaningful. I don't wake up every day connected to what I want to do. So that's why I'm saying use these high school years and use your post-secondary years. So those 3, 4, 5 years after high school to really find out what is it that you want to do. When you wake up and you're smiling and you're happy about doing what you're doing, the financial value comes second. What you get paid will come second to what you get paid here and here. What brings you joy, what brings you happiness, what brings you mental health, what brings you productivity, positivity in your life. That's the real currency. Do not allow the American green dollar to dictate the value that you want to cultivate for your life. Values are inside you. They're internal. They're not external.
Along your journey to get to where you're at right now, ever been a point where you want to give up, and if so, what made you push through?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I've been demoted twice. That means that I get a job, then they put me back down for whatever reason. I've been in college since 2002. I'm still in college. I'm at St. Joe's now trying to get my doctorate degree. So in many spaces you come to, you're going to find your tribe, or you're going to find people that for one reason or the next might not want to see you be successful. They're never going to tell you why, but they might not want to see you be successful. And the most difficult thing is to push through negativity, because negativity is mental, not physical, so it can easily consume you. And we have to be so mentally strong to push through that. So I like to answer questions with strategies, things that I do. I got you next. I go for walks. I have a therapist. I go to therapy. I do the calm app every day. 10 to 15 minutes of silence to really reflect. All right? I pray. You have to find outlets in life. You have to find positive outlets. Things that allow you to recharge. Things that allow you to show up in spaces again. 100%, because like I said, it's not about you. It's about the impact you can have on others. I saw a hand go up.
That was good.
Okay.
I mean, you kind of answered it, because I was going to ask, like, what is some habits that you start getting used to, like, not negativity and stuff?
I'll answer that. Thank you for that question. So what I'll add to that is being very careful around the energy that you allow around you. Monitor that. People come with different energy. And if you come around too much negative energy, it's going to begin to consume you. I have no problem cutting somebody out of my life. Family member, staff member, friend, whatever the case may be. If you're bringing your negativity to me, then I have to cut that out, because it begins to consume me and then I'm affected by it. Stress, any type of emotion could be transferred. If I'm sad and I go around somebody, they might be sad. If I'm happy and I go around somebody, they might get happy. So be very careful around the people you allow around your space, who you allow into your life, and be unapologetic about what you need to cut off in your life. You might love somebody, but they're doing damage to you. You might care about somebody, and they're hurting you. You might really like somebody, but they're no good for you. Be unapologetic. You do not need to apologize to cut ties with anything that brings negativity to your life. Begin to connect and attract positive people, positive settings, and positive things into your life.
Do you
feel as though that you have a strong support system behind you to help you narrate through your life?
Oh, absolutely. And that connects to what I was just saying. Absolutely. Without a support system, none of us are going to make it. Nobody is that mentally or physically strong to deal with everything that life has to offer without a support system. And then you have to hand select who your support system is. All right? Life allows you to pick your own family. We have some family that's by blood, and we have some family that we hand select. So I'm very strategic with who I allow into my space. I'm very intentional on who I bring into my life to really support me through the hard times, man, trials and tribulations. I battle through mental health, and I'm not afraid to talk about it because once you accept and conquer your fears, then nothing else in life can challenge you. Once you are internally sane, the external things cannot touch you. Nothing can bother you if you are in full acceptance of who you are and why you're here today. I will take one last question if it's out there. So guys, I want to tell you this, man. Believe it or not, I was asked here to come to you here to talk to you guys today, thinking that I was going to leave this space a better place. And what really happened was that you guys, I'm leaving here a better person because of you guys, your interactions, the questions you've asked me, has really allowed me to reflect. It's really allowed me to feel really good about this positive experience. So what I will say is I look forward to seeing you guys again. I thank you guys very much for welcoming me into your environment. And I'm leaving here happy, man. You guys are super dope. Do not be afraid to challenge anything in your life, no matter what setting it's in, that does not bring you joy, happiness, prosperity. Do not be afraid to challenge a curriculum. Do not be afraid to challenge a rule. Feel free to challenge everything in your life that you do not feel that is equitable, that is representing everybody. And in that spirit, happy Hispanic Heritage Month. Please continue to celebrate what we have in common. Please begin to accept our differences and understand that once we do that, we can really achieve the overarching goal of life, which is connecting to the one race that to me is super important, and that's the human race. We're all equal, and the sooner we start working on that, we create equitable learning environments, we create equitable spaces where everybody's differences and similarities are celebrated and diversity wins. Thank you.